One of the things that is difficult for me when someone brings me a gift or they even offer an apology or words of encouragement is insincerity. Do they mean those words, or are they just words? Are they empty? I like for things to be real, for things to be authentic. If I feel that the things are not authentic or real to me, they're meaningless. Why waste your time with it? And when we consider God and we come to God in worship, when we come to God in prayer, one of the things about it is I can't always judge whether someone is sincere or someone is being authentic or not. I can surmise or maybe guess at maybe a motive or something of that nature. But God always knows the intents of the heart in every situation. You can't pretend when you come into worship with God as to whether you are meaning what you say. You can't put on pretense with Him. He knows when you say that you're honoring Him, that you want to glorify Him, when you say that you want to praise His name. He knows whether you actually mean those statements or whether your heart is in those things, or if you're really, if it's just a show. And we sometimes judge and say, well, this church is that and that church is that, and I just think maybe this church here, they're too stuffy, or this church here is too showy, or this church. But you know, the fact is, we can't judge the heart of whether what church or that church, or how at the core of the motive, we can judge based on, as far as scripturally speaking, what is right, what God says. But based on the heart, God knows when you and I come into worship what our heart's motive is. And when we consider that and we take it at the core of what is worship when we come in to God's house, well, one of the very first things that we want to break into and go into, what did Jesus say that was one of the largest things that God's house should be? And it's sometimes lost on us today. Sometimes it becomes kind of an add-on and kind of a peripheral, but not the main focus of church. Maybe other portions, and I myself am guilty of this at times. But Jesus, even when he's angered at when he goes into the temple, he said that his Father's house would be a house of prayer, and they had made it a den of thieves. One of the things that we begin to understand, that Jesus is breaking into this area of telling us that his Father's house, the focal point, is a house of prayer. Well, why is that? What does prayer do? It puts us in communion with God. It puts us in fellowship with God. And so often, prayer is just the thing that we open and close with, and it's just kind of an add-on that we just kind of do, but it's not the focal point of what worship is about. It's just kind of something that's there. But is the house of worship, how much of what we do is centered around prayer? And I'm not just talking about a regular church service. I mean, in our daily lives, in what we do throughout our schedules, in being in communion with God, because that is part of worship. So as we define worship, where is prayer found in our lives?